Okay, well, hello everyone. I don't think I can see everyone, but hopefully you can see me. Um, it is, it's already 6 o'clock, and I want to thank you all for being on time. So I do have a lot of information, um, and I do have a presentation. I am recording this meeting so that we can also make it available to those that are not able to join us. But more than anything, I want to also make sure that we have some time to answer any questions you may have. So, for those of you who are new to Hawaiian, my name is Mayra Lozano. I am extremely proud and happy to be the principal here at Hawaiian Elementary, and we welcome you. And for those of you who already know me, so nice to see you, virtual hugs. We've missed you, and here we go with a new school year. And the district did share this information, but there has been updates, and there will continue to be updates. So we will again try to keep you informed as possible, as quickly as we can. And so we will continue to do meetings virtually. And so please, keep in touch with us. So I'll go ahead and start, just so that we know that we are following the recommendations from the Los Angeles. They're not recommendations, they are the health orders from the public health department. So our district is, we have to follow these. They will come and check to see that everything is the way they are requiring. I think it's going to be important to understand that the health department in Los Angeles County has some requirements and some recommendations. And so the district is working very hard. When there is a recommendation, to the best of our ability, we will try to make sure that that's happening. And of course, if it is a requirement, there's no ifs, ors, or buts. We must abide by that requirement. And so moving forward, I will now remind you of some of these safety considerations that we will have. And I think one of the things that I encourage everyone is regarding the vaccine. And we know that many of your children, you may have a sixth grader who's already 12-year-old, but we are encouraging to get the COVID-19 vaccine. For those at home that are able to do so, we recommend it, because then we know that last year, as we welcome some kids into the hybrid, right, we were able to keep a pretty safe environment at our school. But at home, there were some cases, right, by those adults that, are in our households. And so, quite frankly, it was more than how we need to work as a community to make sure that we try to keep everyone safe. And like I said, I understand there may be some medical reasons why some adults or anyone that is 12 and older cannot get the vaccine. But we are happy to bring an expert to speak to parents and answer any questions you may have about the vaccine, and later on schedule as well a clinic. However, very important, and this is message for both students and our staff. Anyone who is sick is not to come to school. We are being extremely careful, because it's true. We're still going to have the flu. We're still going to have, sore throats and strep throat. And so again, all of those are reasons that we're going to be very strict on making sure that your children stay home when they are sick. Because like I said, we need to work together. Um, Before arriving to school, what we're going to ask is that there is the self screening that happens at home. These are the questions that you need to answer before you make it to school, before you leave home, right? Fever, chills, cough, all of these that are listed. It is going to be important that if though any of those exist, then that your child stays home. I understand well, I gave him Tylenol, he's fine now. We know that at this point, it's always a risk. If you send someone with Tylenol and then they have other symptoms while they're here, we keep an isolation room where the nurse is going to be checking everything, and she's gonna then of course make the determination if we need to send the student home. At that point, we're gonna call you, and we're gonna need to have someone that is readily available to come and pick up the student. And so please, if your child is sick, I have put here the phone number for our school. We are here from 7:30 to 4 o'clock. And again, trying to just be very careful. But any of these symptoms, make sure that your children are staying home. Getting to school. So just quick information for those of you that may need to take the bus. We do have a pickup at IBEX and 221st, and that happens in the morning between 7:05 and 7:10. Because our day will begin as it used to be before, every day from Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning to 11. However, the first week of school, we do have early dismissal. So the pickup, if you live across Norwalk, is on IBEX and 221st. And then when they are dismissed, if we had an early dismissal, they should arrive at that area at 1:20, or during regular day, around 2:25. We're going to ask you, if any of you that are right now listening to this information, please call us tomorrow or Friday if you are going to have your children take the bus. Because we need to make sure that we escort them to the area where the bus parks. And then we need to make sure that the bus driver knows how many children we have to be waiting for. There will be a pass for the bus riders, and so we'll make sure that those students get those, okay? Regarding the bus, just real quick, there's gonna be some times when you say, well, they're only gonna take it at the end of the day. It's gonna be very important that transportation knows that information, because otherwise, they may be waiting for someone, and it's very important that an adult is there to pick them up. If there is no adult waiting at the bus stop, they will bring the student back to school. So again, we are going to ask that all our students, as they come in, they wear their face covering, their masks. There's of course going to be hand washing and hand sanitation that we're going to have here. Especially with our little ones, we prefer that they wash their hands with soap and water. And yes, we are going to maximize the space in our classrooms. Many of you, as you know, our classrooms are a hexagon shape. And so we may have a little bit of difficulty doing that, but to the best of our ability, we're going to keep the distance. So I want you to understand that one of the statements from the CDC is that, and from the Los Angeles County, is that if that's not possible, that is why masks are a requirement. Because what the science has proven is that, yeah, we can be next to each other, but if I'm wearing a mask, I'm gonna be protected. So that's why even in a classroom where we have 30 students and we cannot keep the 3 feet distance, all day we're gonna, during the school time, we're gonna be wearing our masks, okay? That being said, we'll have breaks for them to take off their mask when they're apart from one another outside. And I know that you are gonna have questions, so please kind of start jotting them down if I don't cover it in this presentation. As you know, we do have 2 entrances that are right now. We do have some signage. It is going to be our K through 2nd grade in our third through sixth grade entrance. And so you'll see the signs outside. One of the pieces that we're asking, like we did last year, is that the older siblings, so for instance, it's a fourth grader and a second grader, they can come through the lower grade entrance and drop off backpacks, because what we do, as we've done in the past, the students will be sitting in the lunch bench areas waiting. Now, we begin our supervision still at 7:15. So that's, for those of you that have to go to work, it's great that we are able to offer that. And we are, of course, going to offer breakfast for everyone free. And so it is going to be important that the students are here on time. One of the pieces is that breakfast now has to be outside. Again, recommendation from the Department of Health is that if they're going to have to eat, of course, they have to remove their mask. It's better if we're outside. So now I have to have a few benches available for them to eat. And so at 7:50, I can't be serving breakfast anymore. We need to be ready. And so please make sure that students get here no later than 7:50, because then they won't have breakfast. And we know breakfast is very, very important for our students to be ready to learn. One thing that is going to be important, every day your children will continue to take their Chromebooks. So we do not have the virtual academy anymore, right? The students are going to be live with their teachers in their classroom. However, learning from our experience, what we plan to do is we want to continue with our students learning the use of the technology, because in the unfortunate case that we do need to shut down a classroom because of exposure, what we're going to have to do then is now the teacher will be doing virtual. And so we won't miss a step. We're going to say, okay, we all have to quarantine. Even the teacher has to quarantine. That's why the kids are going to continue to have the technology at home, with them. Remember too, we do have other programs that they can continue to use. Thank you for the questions. Yes, we will provide the Chromebooks to all the students. For the kindergartners, the new ones, we will make sure that you have a Chromebook. As a matter of fact, we order new Chromebooks because some of our Chromebooks are a little old. We're going to start replacing the older Chromebooks with the newer Chromebooks. And for those that may need a hotspot, we are going to be able to provide you with a hotspot if you don't have one. Please, if you had one from last year, keep it, because it's just to be prepared and not be in a panic in case we need to go back to virtual learning for a period of time, right? We're gonna, again, work together, be a team, take care of one another. And so hopefully that we don't have to quarantine, right? But if we have to, we will be prepared. So like I mentioned, the face coverings will be here at Hawaiian, always, of course, indoors, and of course, outdoors. For instance, if we are playing a game during recess where students can be apart, then I will say, okay, it's okay to take off your mask. But as you know, children at this age love playing together. They are yelling and excited, and we want to see that. So then at that point, it is not going to be safe for them to not be wearing their mask. But what I'm going to ask the staff to do, 5 minutes before the bell rings to go back to classroom, we're going to all freeze. We all are going to take a 5-minute break with our masks, just breathe, so that they can do that. Of course, at lunchtime, they won't be wearing a mask. And just so that also you're aware, we will have more space in the lunch benches, because we're going to do what we've done in the past. When the students come out to lunch, half of them begin with their lunch while the other half are playing in recess. So I have more tables for them to be spread apart. And then we also have less students and less accidents because we have less students playing, right? And so that's how we keep students, and we do have 2 lunches, and that's how we keep students, safe. Of course, something happens to the face, mask, don't worry. We will provide masks here as well. Very important though, and especially for the little ones. I have a 12-year-old. Unless I'm after him, that mask is disgusting. And so please, please, please make sure that your children, as soon as they come, I'm training mine. You watch it like so, look right there in the bathroom. Quick, 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 hang it. And so make sure that your children do have a clean mask, every day. If there is a medical reason, the county also has specific exemptions, and we will be happy to help you with that. So please let us know, and the nurse and I will be working with you on that regard. And this is just, of course, it's better if they have a nose wire. It's important that they fit correctly. I think at this point, we've had some experience, right, with a face mask. So I trust that, we have different sizes as well in school. And again, to the best of our ability, we will continue to try to arrange that space. But we do know that what's really gonna make a difference is the masking, the washing of the hands with soap and water. And, I think that's really going to help us. Now, just a reminder that we do have hospital grade filters in our air conditioning units in every classroom. And in addition, the district decided also to provide us with another air purifier in addition to the one that we have installed. The custodians are here additional time, and they are also sanitizing and cleaning, disinfecting, especially the restrooms. And as we did at the end of the school year when we had the hybrid, I will have additional personnel making sure that students are maintaining distance in the bathrooms. We have signs. In the boys, only 2 at a time. In the girls, we can fit up to 3. So please talk to your children that they also have to be responsible for their own safety. Our kindergarten classrooms have the restrooms inside. So for them, that's kind of nice, but that was actually the purpose of having bathrooms in kindergarten, right? So, that is very, very nice. And of course, we will be sanitizing those lunch tables as soon as we're finished with one lunch and as we begin the next one. So yes, lots of hand washing. We do have hand sanitizing stations outside and in the classrooms. But I'm going to tell you, parents, too, the hand sanitizer is alcohol based. You also talk to your children. We don't, don't rub your hands. We don't play with it and, try to taste it, right? So those are the things that you can begin to talk to them about. What I've instructed, and I'm going to have my meeting with our staff on Monday, is that, the best thing to do is hand wash with soap and water, right? Happy birthday to you. And so that's going to be the best way to sanitize. But in a pickle, of course, we're going to be using the hand sanitizer. Breakfast and lunch will continue to be free for all our students, and we will be eating outside. Now, if it's rainy day, if it's ridiculously hot outside, I may have to go into what we call, special lunchtime, whether it's raining or inclement weather. And so know that at that point, we will have less students in our MPR, which, is where we can accommodate the children, okay? Now, I want to remind you that if you are sending lunch, you need to do so in the morning with your child and in a little, lunch pail. Please know that you will have access to the cafeteria, the menu. Talk to your children. If you know they don't like the food, then, send them with that lunch early. Please, no drop-offs allowed. Remember to be something healthy. And so breakfast, like I said earlier, 7:15 to 7:50. We recommend that your children bring water bottles. As a matter of fact, the county already said that we could use now the water fountains. The district, because it is a recommendation, is not required to have them capped off like we did before. Right now, the district is putting a hold on that. We do have the water refilling stations, okay? So please make sure that your children bring that with them every day. When we leave at the end of the day, we want to remind everyone to maintain that, physical distancing, to please make sure that you're on time to pick up your students. The office continues to be closed to walk-in. So, but you can always call us, make an appointment so that we can welcome you inside. Also note too, though, that we're happy to come outside. We have a little table where we can help you. And I am also, of course, in this presentation, I provided you with my email. But, give us a call if you do have any questions. Now, we are also asking that any appointment with the teachers, we make an appointment. Because the teachers, as we've done in the past, they do dismiss the students. They're going to wait and make sure that kids are being picked up. Again, a recommendation, if you know that your child is going to walk home, make sure that you're checking on that. If your child is going to stay in our after school program, I do have the information at the end of this presentation because you should have already received confirmation from the AYA program. And if you didn't, I have the information here for you to contact them. And if you didn't sign up and you're interested, I'm also giving you the information where to sign up because the application is online, okay? So let's see. Again, appointments only, and unfortunately at this point, volunteers and visitors are not allowed on our school, okay? And of course, we will let you know as soon as we are able to welcome you back. And so we'll continue now our parent workshops, but we will have them online as well. For extracurricular activities, and I know this was prepared by the district for everyone, know that in our school, you probably are aware that we collaborate with the City of Hawaiian Gardens. And so they offer sports and they actually do it in our campus. So again, as of right now, the county has said that those kinds of activities are allowed. So we probably will be hearing from the city when those are available and students can participate, and they will happen here, but they are supervised by the City of Hawaiian Gardens, okay? For those, we never have parents that stay, okay? It's only for students anyway. Now, I'm sure you're very worried. What happens if we have a positive case? And so again, we do have an isolation area where we bring the student. If they are not feeling well, we do have a nurse that is going to be working with us. She will be here. I don't have her schedule yet, but if she's not here, I have another staff member that is going to support that classroom. And like I said, we will be in contact with parents right away so that you can help us and make sure that your child is picked up. We follow the requirement from the county regarding if they need to quarantine, right? The child may have to quarantine. And it doesn't mean then that the whole school or the whole classroom will have to quarantine. What the county says is that if in 14 days we have 3 positive cases, okay, positive cases confirmed with a test, then that classroom will be shut down, right? And so that's why for us it's very important not to have anyone sick, to not run that risk. Now, there's a difference between positive cases and being exposed. We may, and again, the nurse will call parents and we will let you know if there was, a possibility that someone may have been exposed, because then you have the right to say, I want to have my child, tested, right? And we're going to recommend that as well. But remember that now what we've learned a lot more. And so it is based on the fact that an exposure, we need to be actually without a mask for more than 15 minutes, and you need to be close, less than 3 feet apart. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be eagle eye. Eagles is our mascot. So now eagle eyes to make sure that we help our children maintain distance. But then again, there's also, they shouldn't be without a mask, right? And when they're eating, we're going to have more space. And so we're going to try our very best to make sure that, this doesn't happen. In the event that it happens, everything is confidential. And this is what I'm going to ask you, parents, from parent to parent. If at home someone is ill and the doctor will tell you, yeah, you know what, everyone has to quarantine, please, we appreciate that you let us know. Again, information is confidential because we can work with you. At that point, the teacher can say, you know what, we're going to give you some work to do so that way, because maybe your child is not sick, right? And that way you can have them doing something and they don't totally miss out on what's going on in the classroom. We, like I said, have the responsibility and we are required to report to the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. And by we, it's the nurse and myself, okay? And so please know that we will keep you aware of everything that is going on, but we will not give names of students, or it could be even a staff member. So again, please talk to us so that way we can avoid closing classrooms and even having to close down, the school. Note too, since I'm talking about that, is that let's say it is the teacher, right, that is out because she's sick, then we definitely will have a substitute teacher to make sure that, we continue with our learning. The contact tracing and communication is also something that is extremely helpful because, as you know, some of you have children in other schools, right? And so know that I am in contact, and that's why it's so important for us. And I love that we know each other well and that we've built a great trust. And we know that it's important that if the school doesn't realize that, oh my goodness, I have a student in this school or the cousin happened to be there, we are going to work together because we want to keep all our students and all our families safe. And so if there's students that go to another school, like middle school, high school, or maybe even a special ed program, please know that we will be communicating together. So what I wanted to share is for those of you who are interested in our after-school program, it is free, but you must apply. And it is also based on the availability. We keep up to 100 students in the after-school program, and it is from the beginning of the school day all the way to 6 o'clock. They do there's some requirements, and some of you have participated, but we can say like, oh, I don't want to stay today, I'm going to leave early. None of that. You do have to be here every day and stay until the end of the school day, which is for them would be at 6. That's where they have a chance to have additional activities, and also they have opportunity to work on their homework as well. So take a picture of this one if you are interested. And this is when you go to the ABC website, you would have to click on academic services, special programs, extra, and then there's an application online. But you can also call, the program coordinator is Henry Rodriguez, and those students will have different classrooms in the bungalows, and it is a separate program. So we will be introducing the new director of that program, okay? So in this that you received, mine just has a little bit information that is pertaining to our school. I want you to know that there's additional resources that you can take a look at. But I definitely want to open it up for questions. I want to put it in the front just for those of you that need my email address. But as you know, if you are receiving my remind texts, then you can text me back on here. It doesn't go to everyone, it just comes to me, and I'm happy to reply. So what I'm going to do is, if you are comfortable writing it on the chat, I can answer any question you may have. Or if you would like to unmute, the only thing that I need is that you raise your hand so that I can say who is next, because I cannot see who we have. So I have a question, what room and what teacher they will be having. Yes, what we're going to do is, again, and again, please know, everything we have to do on email. And so you will be receiving an email that tells you, what you're going to be receiving the calendar that tells you when are the days that we have early dismissal for the year, because there's about 16 days. It also will tell you the name of the teacher and the room number. What we do always is we have our new supervisors and myself and additional staff outside, and especially welcome to our new students. We are going to make sure that we show them. We actually have signs for them to get acquainted with our site, and for them to know where they need to go. But yes, you will get an email starting tomorrow and Friday. Our practice used to be to post names outside. The district has asked us for confidentiality purposes not to do that anymore. And then, so please know that, again, because of COVID, they are wanting us to try to do as much as possible online, virtually. Any other questions? Does anyone... If you need to, if I didn't clarify.
Are we also receiving a supply list so we can purchase supplies?
We don't want you to worry about supply lists for right now. We are planning to have everything your children may need. Remember that the supplies are always a donation if you want to and willing. And so if for the most part, we will provide what your children will need. And so don't worry, you know, there's been too much to worry about. We will be okay. We got the supplies.
Okay, now, do I need an appointment to meet with the nurse so I can drop off Richard's insulin?
You know what? Yes. I would say send her an email, Ms. Segura. And what I will do is I'll leave her a message that, you know, you want to find out. Ms. Wu, who is our nurse, Jeannie Wu, she actually begins tomorrow. Teachers begin also tomorrow, but they're prepping the room and we're having meetings to be ready for Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, the question about, thank you for the question about the fifth grader picking up the sister from kindergarten. We've always had a 10-minute difference for kindergarten and the rest of the students. One of the concerns that has come up on the part of the district is that the kindergartners, you know, are young, and we would prefer that they are picked up by an adult. And so at this time, we're gonna, and especially remember, kindergarten, the first month, it's early dismissal at 12:35. We utilize that early dismissal time to complete one-on-one assessments that we have to do, and your teachers are going to be telling you, you know, when is their appointment. But the kindergarten students, the first 4 weeks of school, they begin at 8, but they go home at 12:35. And the rest of the students are going to go home at 1:05. Thank you for the question. Anything else? So let me hear from you how you feel about, if you want me to invite one of the experts, a doctor, to talk about the vaccines, or if there's interest regarding the vaccine. And I did see a raised hand, so go ahead and unmute. Yes, those students come Wednesdays to school, correct. Our students now are back Monday through Friday. The only days that they don't come will be when we have those holidays. But yes, every day. I know somebody had a question. Did you want to unmute? So if we can put in the chat or maybe say yes. So are we interested in a clinic for vaccines? We can do it right here. Thank you. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, we don't need it. We're good. We already did it. We got our vaccine already. Okay, I want you to know too. So I can share with you because that's my choice to share. I already got my vaccine. As you know, the state of California, the governor now is requiring staff members that work in schools, whether they're classified or certificated, that we need to be vaccinated. And if we can't, for whatever reason, then we're going to have to show a negative COVID test at least once a week. So I cannot ask my teachers to tell me whether they're vaccinated or not, right? But I can share with you because I want to tell you that I got my vaccine. I got my 12-year-old vaccinated. So I want you to know that on our end, we're doing everything we can to keep all of us safe and keep our school going and learning going. We have a STEM lab opening. Mr. Garcia is going to be the teacher. And the students, I mean, I am so excited about that. We have additional staff for support, paraprofessionals to support in the classrooms. I have 2 credentialed teachers for intervention support because I'm sure you're worried about where your students left off. We are gonna do everything we can to support your children. Oh, uniforms. So at Hawaiian, we never really agreed on the uniforms. So for right now, we don't have a uniform, but I'm more than happy to begin that conversation with our parents to agree. We do have our Hawaiian Eagles t-shirts that we do sell. And I think it's just a matter of agreeing on a color of a polo shirt and make it easy, blue jeans and a polo shirt, and that's it. We're not going to complicate it. Will there still be band? Yes. Now, band, for instance, because they have to be blowing on those instruments, it's going to be outside, right? But Mr. Fernandez is our band teacher, and it begins from 4th through 6th grade. So yes. Anything else? Any question? Or I did an amazing job at presenting everything. Oh my God, no questions. Don't be shy. We're here to support you, to help you with any questions you may have. Like I said, that's my email. Always, you can reach me on my Remind account, on the Hawaiian Remind account. And so whatever questions you may have, do not hesitate to contact us. Like I said, I'm just always so grateful. You guys have done always a great job, and I can't thank you enough. And so let's do it. Hawaiian Eagles soar, right? We'll be ready to begin on Monday, so be looking out for that email about your teacher. So if we don't have any questions, then thank you so much. It's dinner time, right? So have some nice dinner, say hello to the kids, and we'll be here on Monday. Yes, it's okay for the kindergartners to bring backpacks because, like I said, we will, not the first day, but we will provide them with a Chromebook. So it will be okay for them to bring backpacks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.